Hey, 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 it's the Pacific Northwest Geek here, Echo Hero, back for day 4 of 80's Week 2026. While we're looking at the 1989 movie Star Trek V, The Final Frontier. So I get a little itchy. But before I get into that, there's something I want to talk about that I forgot to mention in my review of Star Trek 4. In January of 1986, um, the Challenger disaster occurred. For those who do not know, that's when the space shuttle Challenger was launching, and there was an explosion, killing all on board. Um, and at the beginning of Star Trek 4, which was released later that year, it began with this title card saying that the movie was dedicated to the astronauts who lost their life that day. Anyways, I should have mentioned that, but I forgot to. Now let's go ahead and talk about Star Trek V, The Final Frontier, released in 1989. In the movie, we're introduced to this mysterious Vulcan named Sybok. Although at first we're not told his name, just that he's different from other Vulcans. He hasn't embraced the whole logic, live long and prosper. That is illogical. Instead, he embraces emotions and seems to have this ability where he can convert people into his followers. At the beginning of the movie, he and some of his followers attack this place where these 3 diplomats or ambassadors or whatever are at. A human, a Romulan, and a Klingon. And a thing is sent out to the Enterprise with that time. Uh, Kirk, Spock, and Bones out on like a little camping trip. And also we see Sulu and Chekhov. And they're called back from leave. Where they're told about what happened, they show this video. And Spock, he recognizes this mysterious Vulcan. And they notice the guy goes, somebody from my past, a ghost, I think something he says. Anyways, at the same time, we see this Klingon Butterbright and his crew who are out and about, and they receive word about what's going on too. And the captain of this Butterbright, who looks like some 80's, he looks more like an 80's hair metal guy with a big puffy hair than he does a Klingon. Anyway, he's like, oh, wait a minute. The Federation's going to send a ship. Ooh, yeah, that means we get a little action. So they go en route. Eventually finding out it is the Enterprise, and the Klingons are still holding a grudge against Kirk because everything that happened and the whole thing of trying to get the Genesis device in the 3rd movie failed, and it blew up in the face, and they're blaming Kirk. They felt like death to Kirk. Anyways, the Enterprise gets there, tries to save the people, the 3, only to find out they are now been converted into followers of Sybok. And Spock has a chance to take him out, but decides not to. Sybok wants the Enterprise because he wants a ship, because he's some deity creature, godlike creature, named here. This is like at the center of the universe or something, and he wants this to go see this thing. And the Enterprise is this thing. Kirk, Bones, and Spock are thrown into the brig, and Kirk's just like mad at Spock, like, why didn't you do this? Spock, like, he's my brother. He's like, oh, I get it. He's a fellow Vulcan. He goes, no. He has we have the same father. He's my brother. And Kirk's like, bullshit. He goes, I know, you're lying. You don't got a brother. And Spock's like, you're right. I don't. See? I got a half brother. Kirk is like, oh, fuck. So after Scotty helps them break out of the brig, Scotty, after he breaks them out, he's like, they're going one way, he's going another way. I know this ship like the back of my head. And I think he walks into, what is a bulkhead or whatever? He walks in and knocks himself out. Anyways, Sybok tries to do to Bones to what he's done to them. He makes Bones live relive the day that his father was sick and he had to euthanize. I guess this is a bit of a bad word, but he had to put his father down who was seriously sick. Anyways, they have to. I don't want to give too much away, but they got this Klingon boat to prey after them, and Kirk decides, okay, we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna give you what you want. We're gonna go to this place to go see here. And this movie. We began the 80s. The first 80s Star Trek movie was Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan. And that's a particularly awesome film. We were followed by two more awesome films in The Search for Spock and The Voyage Home. Final Frontier bombs. It is not good. They came in with a bang and went out with a whimper. Just the story felt blah. The effects, oh god, the effects. The Bird of Prey looks really bad. You can tell, times when they use miniatures because they get a close up of the weapons on the end of the wings, and you can tell that's a miniature. When it shoots and takes out the satellite, this old satellite's probably been around for a couple centuries or whatever, it's floating around out of space. The satellite screams like, you hear this, then again, it's like, why the fuck is a satellite this randomly screaming like it's alive? It's just a fucking satellite. It looks bad. There's a point where you see the Enterprise, and it looks like they took a image of what's supposed to be like outer space, did a bad Photoshop of the Enterprise over it, and then photoshopped the Bird of Prey into it. It looks bad. It's just the things don't. Star Trek 4 had a budget about $20 to $25 million. This had a $31+ million budget, made a little over half of its budget back, and the effects still look like shit. And again, like I said, the Klingon captain looks like an 80s hair metal guy. I mean, it's not that good of a film. I don't always like to watch this one. I mean, it's probably my least favorite of the 6 original films. Also, I forgot something else I forgot to mention in my review of Star Trek 4 is that a year after that movie was released, we got a new TV show in Star Trek: The Next Generation, which in 1989 was going strong. I think might have just finished up a season by the time this came out, and a smaller budget, but much better. I love Star Trek: The Next Generation. I rather watch that than this movie because I do not care for Star Trek 5. I mean, shit. The Bird of Prey looks bad. The effects look bad. Again, why the fuck was that satellite? Just scream. When they go see here, it looks like they'll stand in front of a projector, which is what Kirk looks like when all of a sudden the Bird of Prey flies down and it's right in front of him. It looks like he's standing in a big projector looking up at this Bird of Prey. It's you had a $5 to $10 million. I mean, the budget for this was $5 to $10 million more than 4. Yet they dropped the ball with the effects. The story felt blah. The only thing I really, and there's a scene, a bit of comical scene, because William Shatner's daughter is in this movie. I'm sorry, again, itchy nose today. When Kirk goes to the ship, right before they go deal with Spock's brother, he hands his coat to the yeoman. The yeoman is played by Kirk's daughter. And the joke is there was nowhere on the bridge for her to hang the coat. So while they're talking about everything that's going on, look in the background. You'll see this girl walking around with Kirk's coat. Again, that's Kirk's daughter, whose name is here. I thought that was a little comical. I was supposed to just be like a little joke of her like looking like, where do I hang this coat? If you've seen this movie, what do you guys think? Again, I am not a fan. It is on Paramount Plus, and I have been getting back into Star Trek as of late because was a big Star Trek fan, and then I got out of it, and I've been watching Discovery. I'm up to season 4, and then gonna do um Strange New Worlds, and then also been watching episodes here and there of Starfleet Academy. But anyways, after watching Strange New Worlds, I'm gonna go watch Section 31. But what do you guys think? Star Trek: Next Generation, by the way, is my favorite Star Trek TV show. Um, what do you guys think? Um, what is your favorite Star Trek show? Anyways, I've got to go. I'm having a bit of an issue today. This video took multiple times for me to review. My psoriasis is acting up. Even right now, I'm fighting the urge not to scratch it because it's itching up a storm. So I'm going to go put some ointment or something on there, something to help me with this itching. And, well, got day 5's next. What? Some people know what I've already know what I'm gonna be talking about for day 5. But I'm the Pacific Northwest Geek, and hope you all are enjoying 80's week. So I will see you on the flip side. To the hello, motherfuckers!